Thank you, everybody. Thank you, Scout. Let's call the meeting to order. We'll start with the Pledge of Allegiance.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, thank you. Scout, can you start us off with the statement of adequate notice?
Of course. Statement of adequate notice pursuant to the Open Public Meetings Act. Notice of this meeting was sent to the Cranberry Press, the Trenton Times, the Home News Tribune on January 5th, 2024, posted on the bulletin board, posted on the township's website, and sent to those who requested a copy of this notice. And we're going to move on to roll call. Ms. Estenez is excused. Dr. Graywall?
Here.
Mr. Markham?
Here.
Mr. McDermott?
Here.
Mr. Marshner?
Here.
Thank you.
All right, so first on the agenda, I do want to thank Wes again for covering last week and helping lead us through what would have been my otherwise first time leading the Board of Health meeting. So thank you. First on the agenda, I want to check to see if everybody's had a chance first to review the minutes, maybe take a minute or two to review them. Okay, very good. Any discussion on the minutes? None?
Nope.
Very clear. All right. Can I ask for a motion to approve the minutes?
Motion to approve.
Second?
All in favor?
Roll call.
Oh, sorry.
It's all right. So this is to approve the Board of Health's November 4th, 2024 minutes. Ms. Estenez is excused. Dr. Graywall?
Yes.
Mr. Markham?
Yes.
Mr. McDermott?
Yes.
Mr. Marshner?
Yes.
Thank you. That's unanimous by members present.
Great. Next, I believe we have the health officer report. Thank you, Taylor.
So for the month of October, we inspected the following establishments which were rated satisfactory. On October 12th, Piece of Chocolate. On October 22nd, the Cranberry Inn. And also on October 22nd, Tony's Open Kitchen. For complaints in October, we had a dog complaint, which there was no cause for action. And we also had a complaint at the Elms of Cranberry, which was referred to the long-term care facility hotline. For meetings and seminars, we had the Board of Health meeting on October 7th. And I had a Middlesex County staff meeting in Piscataway on October 25th.
Any comments or questions?
I just asked one thing. What was the Elms 10/22 complaint? Did you say what that was about or?
So it was basically a resident there called about the care that she was receiving,
Okay.
which has nothing to do with the health department.
Yes.
So that's why we referred her to the long-term care facility hotline.
Understood. Got it. Thank you.
Did have one follow-up you said here related to the dog licenses, no cause for action, but that would still fall into the normal January renewal of licenses. Okay, so we'll cover that, I think, in the new business. Very good. Any other comments or questions?
None.
Okay. Environmental report?
Yes. So for plan reviews, on October 26th, there was a plan reviewed and rejected for 2 Brickyard Road. And then for water activities, on October 10th, there were 2 surface samples taken at Brainerd Lake for E. coli, which were found to be compliant and below the limits.
Very good. Thank you for the clarity around that. I knew that would have been the question. Any questions on the environmental report?
No.
I have one. Can you remind us how often you take samples?
So they actually sample more in the warmer months, but they said if you wanted them to ramp up the amount that they do, they definitely could. So it's done less frequently when it gets colder out, but if you would like them to come out more, they would be able to.
Okay, with that, can we move on to old business, and I know we had a very active discussion last time, particularly related to the rabies clinic and opportunities for veterinary. So do I,
Yes, I spoke to Dr. Manzi 3 times, and he has not responded to me. I actually called and left a message for him today. He was busy with his pets, patients, and I will follow up with a call to him tomorrow. I asked the receptionist to give me a positive yay or nay, and we would go with that, explaining that his service was only 1 hour in an afternoon on one Saturday in January. So I will talk to him, hopefully, and to get a response. And again, let Scout know what is happening. Beyond that, I'll try some other veterinarians in the area and see if we can find another one.
thank you, Gene. I know this has been a little bit of a challenge for some time. I do have a question. I'm not sure who would know the answer, but how much notice do we have to give for, I know you keep answering the question, but how much notice do we have to give for the clinic?
In terms of, well, my involvement will be with the vaccines.
Yeah, to acquire the vaccines for the
We
clinic.
have that.
They're always available.
I have everything, the right transportation, so I can go pick it up myself.
What, does anyone know what's normal and customary for notice to the town if we are successful in finding a veterinarian?
Yeah. I think it's usually a couple of months out is my impression. Isn't that right?
Yeah, I would say by now we would know.
By now we would have
Because it's only
already.
a month out or a
Yeah.
couple months out.
So
So
I think we have sufficient notice to say there will not be a January rabies clinic.
we are scheduled for the end of January. Do we have a date? Did we fix a date?
There has been no discussion
Yeah.
of date
Okay.
because we have been in the process of
Right.
finding a vet first.
Yeah. I mean, keep in mind, there are other, and on the website, there are other locations that are listed. So if we are unable to identify a vet, at least people have resources. They can go to neighboring towns,
Yeah.
right? I mean, it'd be great to have one here, but
Yeah. Yeah, and I don't know, Gene, I think we talked about last time. I don't know if the vet that you're speaking with, does he have other vets in his practice besides himself, or is it just
I
him?
think he has a partner in the practice right
Yeah.
now, and I haven't spoken to him. at
Yeah,
this
I'm
point.
just wondering, like, if he's not wanting to do it, maybe
I
a
will
good
try.
opportunity for somebody else,
I
maybe
will
a
try.
younger vet or something, who knows?
Question I have for Tyler is there, the other towns that do the vaccinations, how much public notice are they required to give to the county?
I would have to well, to the county.
Yeah, because it's a countywide effort. The other towns are notified of our, having an event.
So a lot of other towns have standing vets they use recurrently. So it's not really an issue like this. There's not to say an exact time frame that they need to give, but normally we post it to the website. We make sure to give public exposure so the residents know about it.
That's what I'm concerned about. All right, good.
Yeah.
Well, if you find out anything different, if there's like a requirement for 2 months or 3 months.
There's not a requirement on our end.
No. All right, thank you.
That's great, thank you.
All right, thank you. So again, thank you, Gene, for
Yeah.
continuing to help advance this. I think we can all
I'll
try
try.
to find that out. Another question, I understand this is a volunteer for the veterinarian. Is there an opportunity if we are unable, or we still as a town want to offer the clinic, are we able to provide a nominal fee to the veterinarian for conducting the clinic, or is that something we would not do?
Well, at this point, I don't think that's in our budget.
Okay,
That would something the township would have to provide us with the monies to do that.
so something to mention to town
Right,
council.
granted, it's travel time, it's probably setup time, and it's more than just 1 hour of, injecting the animals.
In the past, I mean, they used it as a really good opportunity to sort of build their
Promote,
practice.
yeah.
Right? They would come with cards and an assistant and they'd talk to people who
Whoever.
came for, for vaccines. So that's kind of how it's been and why it was voluntary. But yeah.
Very good, thank you.
Mhm.
All right, so let's, I think, now move on to new business. And I see that we have a need to do a reminder of the license approvals. So perhaps I should quote what the license approval timeline is, or did you want to do that, Scal? For January, I thought I saw that. New term
Term ex-
expirations.
Oh, those are for members.
We're members
Those
of
are
this group.
members of the Board of Health, yes, and the 2 members have responded to me in writing. So they will be submitted for Township Committee consideration.
Okay.
I'll also, as a reminder, because I do know that there's over 100 subscribers to the county and for this website, streaming this announcement. All of the licensees extend through January. Late fees begin in February. And then there is different summonses that begin on March 1st and then again on April 1st. Those are outlined on the town website. So if you are able to see them, you will see them listed. For dog and cat, sorry, thank you for clarifying. For dog and cat licenses, those are also going to be in existence. So as we close out December into January, those are upcoming. And so there are times and fees associated with them. Any other new business?
Scott, you said there's 2 members that are up for renewal?
Yes.
Who are they?
Wes and Eugene.
Okay.
Very good. Okay, I think now we can move to public comment. All right. Oh, as a reminder, it's 3 minutes for public comment.
Mr. Ballard?
Scott can set the timer. Okay. My name is Bill Ballard.
You're not on, Mr. Ballard. If it's red, that means it's a hot mic, so other button. There you go.
It's red?
It's red.
Okay, go. My name is Bill Bowder. I live on Petty Road. I spoke to Wes about a situation we've had with dogs not being licensed, running at large, and so on. And so I wrote a letter to our mayor, Iman, and to the chief. And I'll read you the letter so that you have some background and understand what's going on. Dear Chief Owens and Mayor El Badwi, I am writing to discuss 2 recent dog incidents that occurred on our property. Please see the attached incident reports from 9/15 and 9/29. As you can see, the incident reports are really not informative at all. First, let me tell you that the owner of these dogs previously pled guilty to Judge Herman regarding the charges of dogs at large and no license. After these recent incidents where the dogs jumped on me and also chased our dog and damaged our stream trying to get at our dog, I was concerned that the Township Police Department and Health Department would take these incidents seriously. No action was taken until I filed an Oprah request at the clerk's office and the police department. The Oprah request to the clerk revealed, as I suspected, that the XL Pit Bull was not licensed. At the time of the first incidents, the dogs had no tags of any kind. The investigating officer did speak with the owner by phone. The owner, a doctor, said the dogs were licensed, but I told the officer that I was concerned based on previous incidents that the dogs may not be licensed. My assumption was correct and the XL Pit Bull was not licensed. My assumption was correct and was verified by the Oprah request that was supplied by the clerk. After about a week of trying to get help from the health officer, who is temporary and having no success getting anyone to assist me, I came to the conclusion that I would have to file the complaints myself. I went to Plainsboro, filed the complaints, and the court administrator accepted the complaints except for the providing false information to the police officer. The complaints will be heard on December 11th. I am sure this individual will pay the fines as he did the last time and just figure this is the cost of doing business. One of the things I learned from a veterinarian that I know is that there is very good reasons why those XL pit bullies as they are known, do not license the dogs is due to two reasons. One, most insurance companies will not provide the owner of those dogs with insurance on their homes and property. And number two, if the owner of one of those dogs doesn't have a dog licensed in their name, they cannot be held legally responsible for the actions of that dog. Although Cranberry is supposed to take a dog census, that really isn't effective for a number of reasons. We do have animal control officer in that position, and or the police department or health officer should have some means of coordinating and enforcing the ordinances. Certainly there are cases that require good judgment.
Mr. Bowder, I'm sorry, the 3 minutes are up.
I'd like you to waive that 3-minute requirement so I can finish this if the.
I'm
It's up to
sorry.
the chairman.
No, we need to follow township committee protocol. I'm sorry, we have to go by the township committee rules. If the township committee doesn't extend, then we can't extend. I'm sorry, sir.
So there's going to be no discussion? I'd like to have some discussion. I think it's an important issue. And if this was an 8-year-old child that had been accosted by these dogs on Main Street, this would be a whole new story.
So Scout, can we take what he has written to review later?
As long as you're comfortable with that, and
Sure.
Mr. Marshner can follow up with most likely the township administrator regarding this matter.
So can you submit if you have it written, I guess, if
Sure, I
that's
have it,
acceptable?
I have it written. But your 3-minute rule really stops out the public from and the democratic process from really working the way it should. And I think that it doesn't allow back and forth conversation to resolve a problem. And if this is what we're going to do, then I think that this is wrong. It's very wrong. And I assure you that if this had been another situation on Main Street with a young child, this would be handled differently. And I think that at this point, if the Board of Health is interested in making this a better process, then there needs to be some discussion.
So I can say, I'm unfamiliar with the details that you have started to outline in what you've written. I would imagine it sounds like others within town council, as well as perhaps law enforcement, are very familiar. So I'm not quite sure what is the responsibilities of the Board of Health. But I think I
Well,
will
I tried
commit
to
to
find-
read what you've submitted. It sounds like, Wes, you've had a
I
chance
tried to
look at
find
it.
out, and I asked the clerk, who is responsible for enforcing the ordinances? And nobody stands up. And I asked Taylor. I spoke to her on the phone and she said, I'll get in touch with my supervisor, and I'm still waiting for a response. Because if Natalie was here, I can assure you a summons wouldn't have been written.
Oh, thank you for
Okay.
clarifying. Well,
Okay.
thank you, Mr. Bauer. Thank you. I guess public comments over based upon as Scout outlined, but happy to
Yeah,
look
that's
into
a
what you
that's a
submitted.
horrible thing. And it's no discussion. It's undemocratic, and it doesn't solve the problems of the town. And I think
So I think
It's
this
a
is something
shame.
we would talk to the town council.
it's a shame. This needs to be discussed at length with the parties that are responsible. I don't know what happened. I spoke to Wes. Wes said it would be brought up at the last meeting. It wasn't. What do we do? I mean, you have a responsibility as members of the Board of Health to address an issue.
Can I just ask the other members of the board, do we know about the licensed status of the dogs currently? Or do we know that? I mean, I personally don't know that, but do we as the board know that?
Wes, I just want to thank you for bringing this to our attention. We were unappraised of the situation as you explained it briefly in your letter. But I think we've got the grist of the problem right now.
Okay,
You have two dogs that are known to be aggressive and have caused a problem for you. I'm surprised that at this point, some other action has not been taken. I don't know why, what's happening on
we've had
the,
3 incidents.
right, 3 incidents. But I know that the board members here are aware and aroused by your concern. And we'll have a discussion and go forward and try to address the issue as best as we can with the limited time and resources that we have. Again, thank you for bringing that to our attention. I have no knowledge of this incident, and I'm sure the other board members are the same condition.
Yeah, so Mr. Batter, I can see a message from our town administrator confirming that the dogs at the residence are now licensed and that there has been a formal complaint lodged with the court. That's probably the extent to which this board
The
is
whole
familiar.
point of this is going
But I wanna
forward,
just
you have no protocol that brings the police department into the loop, the health officer into the loop, and the animal control officer into the loop to enforce the ordinance that you have. They're all flying blind.
So
That's the whole point of it.
Yeah, so Mr. Batter, I believe, I understand this might be a topic we'll have to review and get further information to then put this as an agenda item if appropriate. I'm not familiar with the guidance of whether or not that is our responsibility as the board or if this is a town council topic. I'm just being honest with you. I don't know the answer to your question, but I also recognize since this is not a topic, public comment is not the area for us to currently discuss until we have the information. But as I mentioned, I'm more than happy to take what you have written so that we are able to review it.
And could
As a
somebody
team.
put this on the agenda for the next meeting after you've had your closed session
Well, there's
meeting?
no closed session. We'll look to the advisement of town council just to make sure what is appropriate
Okay.
for our committee, for this board to
I
discuss.
just like to get
versus
somebody
what
to
is
give me some feedback.
well appreciated and understood.
You think we can do that? From someone? Anybody?
To have a plan, yes. I don't know the answer to the plan question, but yes, I think
No,
this is
but-
something we can.
I would just like somebody to say, either take a hike, we're not interested, or we've discussed this and we can make a process that is better for the community.
Very well noted. I just don't know the answer if that's our scope or the scope of town council. Just,
And if somebody could tell me who's.
well, as a resident of the town, you should expect an answer.
I
don't think you're
should,
seeing
but
any of us disagree.
I wrote to the mayor, and I know, I can't believe that she did not respond to me. That really blows my mind.
Well, thank you again, Mr. Bowder, for
Okay,
coming
Thank
here
you.
to share your concern.
Yeah. Do you want him to leave hard copies or do you want him to
Yeah,
email?
Do you have a hard
What do
copy
you
that you
prefer?
wanted to leave or what's
I have some
appropriate?
note,
What would you
I might be
prefer?
able to have it.
Or do you want to email?
You have our emails, by the way, on our website if you want to send an
Yeah.
electronic copy.
Yeah.
I
do
know
that.
my email for sure is, I think
Scott
most
can
of
make-
everybody's is
somebody-
there.
If you can make a copy, I'll give you this.
I don't have the ability to do that.
Okay. We don't even have a copy machine that works, okay.
No.
Oh, God, I'm telling you. Okay.
What, thank you.
Thank
okay.
you.
Mr. Bowder.
Thank you.
All right, so with that, I'll say we'll close public comment. Um, Next, any discussion? I think there will be a lot of discussion, would be my comment generally, but any other discussion from members of the board?
Nothing for me at this point.
I think the township committee is best to handle. Yeah, my opinion is the township committee should really resolve this for us
Yeah.
because they have the overview of the police, the animal control officer, and they're aware of the court cases against the animals. So I I don't know what we could do at this point.
All right, with that, I'll motion to adjourn.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Hi.
Aye.